Hello students, welcome to the next lecture of the VMGP lecture series, that is on the maintenance and overhauling of the engine components part number 2. In the last lecture we saw the processes for the cylinder boring and the cylinder honing process. Now the talking point is that after increasing the boring or after increasing the bore diameter of the vehicle, what we need to do is we either have to replace the piston set, because if we don't replace the piston set, then the clearance between the cylinder and piston will increase, as the piston has the same diameter which it has before, but the cylinder has the higher diameter. So either we need to replace the piston set or we can use the cylinder liner in the cylinder. Right, how that can be used? Let's see that. So in case of the cylinder liners needs to be fitted in the vehicle, that can be done by the cylinder liners of the given amount of the diameter which was the initial diameter of the cylinder bore, that will be fitted in the cylinder, so that we don't have to use the new piston set and old piston set can be used with the engine. In that case, the first thing is that the bore diameter is increased after the boring and honing process. So that is why the new piston will have to be used, because the extra clearance will have been created. To use the same piston set with this method, the cylinder liners with the old cylinder bore diameter will be used. How to fit the cylinder liner is that it will be fitted in the cylinder block, which you can see in the graphics below the screen, that the liner is been fitted in the cylinder block. After that, the indicator has been used to measure the surface of the cylinder liner and cylinder block. It should be in the certain limits, and after that it will give us the value of the bore diameter which was during the starting of the engine. Right, that is why cylinder liners are important for the engine. After the fitting of the cylinder liners, the gaskets needs to be put on the cylinder liners, and most of the time whenever we are rebuilding the cylinder, in that case the gasket should be replaced in all the cases. Right. After that, the piston assembly will not have to be replaced if we are using the cylinder liners. This is the main advantage of the cylinder liners, that it will give you the same amount of the cylinder bore diameter, and also the same piston set can be used, so that the performance will not be compromised of the engine after rebuilding process. Right. Next thing is the cylinder head facing. Cylinder head means the upper part of the cylinder block. Right. That facing can be seen in the background of the screen. You can see the cylinder head facing can be done with the number of passes. Very small amount of the material is removed. It's done generally a finishing process of the cylinder head. Due to the uneven wear on the cylinder head, this type of process will be done on the cylinder head, and the face of the cylinder head will be grinding. The cylinder head is used in this case. It is tightly adhered to the cylinder block. Right, cylinder head is tightly adhered or sticked to the cylinder block, and due to that there is some type of extra pressure or wear happening on the cylinder block whenever we are driving the vehicle. So to maintain that wearing characteristics and to maintain the performance of the cylinder, the block will be refaced whenever we are rebuilding the engine if it is required. The cylinder surface might be deformed because of the cylinder block processes that is happening in the cylinder block. Also, each time the cylinder head is removed or each time the engine is rebuilt, the facing will be done so that the proper surface can be obtained on the cylinder head. After that, the surface should be evened with the number of passes of the grinding. That after a number of passes, until then we get the proper even surface on the cylinder head, we can use this process. You can see now in the graphic below that the cylinder head has properly been faced by the number of passes of the grinding. Refacing is must, and after the refacing the gasket replacement is compulsory. Right, the old gasket cannot be used with the new refaced cylinder head. New gasket should be used so that the proper sealing between the cylinder head and valves and upper part of the engine is obtained after the using the new gasket. If we will use the old gasket, then it can give you the small leakage areas. From that the gas can be leaked, then engine component performance can be compromised. Right. After the process of the cylinder head facing, we will see the service of the valve. In the case of the valve service, there are different types of steps that can be done on the valve service. The first one is that the valve is subjected to very high temperatures. Right? The valve surface is considered as one of the hot spots of the engine. Right? Especially the exhaust valve. The hot spots during the knocking process is important, and it has highest temperatures in the vehicle, and also it runs at the high speed. The temperature will be higher at that places, so that we need to check the valves whenever we are overhauling the engine for any cracks or any burnings on the valve seat, or if there is a run out in the radial direction of the valve, which means if there is uneven wear on the radial direction of the valve. These things needs to be checked if we are overhauling the engine. The valve system should be straightened without any scoring effect, without any material removed from that. Right? If it is removed material, then the strength of the valve will be reduced. The valve after dismantling from the cylinder head should be examined. Right? The overall condition of the valve should be re-examined after removing from the engine. The valve seat should be refaced after refacing the valve for the proper fit. The refacing of the valve and the refacing of the valve seat both will be done whenever we are removing the valve from the engine. How to do the valve lapping process is that in case of the valve lapping process, the lapping tool will be used as seen in the figure. It will be inserted in the valve and it will be rotated by simply the hand movement. This tool can simply be operated with the hand movement, and it is very simple process. By rotating in clockwise and anti-clockwise direction simultaneously, you will get the small amount of the grinding on the valve seat and the valves, and both will be refaced, and the surface of the valve seat and valve will be evened out after completing the valve lapping process. Right, so valve lapping process is one of the simplest type of processes whenever we are doing the valve service procedure, and that can be done without any machines and only a lapping tool, which you can see in the background graphics as well. So after the process, you can see that the proper even surface is obtained on the valve seat. Right, resurfacing of the poppet valves and the respective seats is done with the procedure. Lapping tool is used, which is a simple hand tool, and the valve should be inspected for any damage. If there is any damage, then the valve should be replaced. During the inspection, if there is any cracking or any pitting of the different scales or channeling or burning on the valve, then the valve should be replaced. A certain amount of pitting is possible and it will be tolerated, but otherwise, other than that, the other problems or other defects in the valves, then the valve should be replaced so that there is no problem in the valve operation of the vehicle. After that, we will see a small example of the valve timing adjustment. Now, whenever we want to adjust the valve timing, we need to change our gear from the normal gear to the adjusting gear. The gear which you are seeing in the figure is the normal sprocket gear or normal cam gear which is used in the normal vehicles. In nowadays, there is a vehicle with a variable valve timing technology, that is VVT. Now in that case, VVT works on the electronic method, and by the electronic method, the timing of the valves will be changed based on the speed. At higher speed, the valve timing will be different. At lower speed, the valve timing will be different. That works on the electronic system. But in the older cars, there was no valve timing given, no variable valve timing given. So without VVT, we will require an adjusting cam gear. Now, adjusting cam gear will help you to correct the position of the valve timing if it has giving you the problem. If there is no problem in the engine, then we don't need to change the valve timing. This is the type of the gear which is used to change the valve timing, right? So older gear will have to be replaced with this new adjusting gear. The bolts has been given in that. The bolts can be moved in both the direction for reducing or increasing the valve timing, and with the simple changing of the bolt position, we can change the valve timing if we are using this cam gear in the vehicle. Now let's see the valve lash adjustment, or it is the clearance between the rocker arm and the valve tip. You can see in the graphics below, the excessive lash or excessive clearance will cause the wear in the valve train, and if it is too tight, then it will create the valve open when it should be closed condition. So valve lash is critical for the engine performance and to maintain the valve timing. The exhaust opening, intake and closing method will be used to check the valve lash. When the exhaust valve is open, the inlet valve will be closed in the next cylinder. Right? Whenever we are using the multi-cylinder engine, if the inlet valve is open in one case, then the exhaust valve will be closed in the second case. So that will be adjusted. When the valve is in open condition, the clearance will be checked. Right? So that can be done whenever the intake valve will be closed. The intake lifter will be on the base of the camshaft, and after that we will set the lash on the intake valve. How to do that is we will close the nut and we will insert the filler gauge in between the clearance. Until we get the proper clearance, the nut will be closed again until the filler gauge is properly fitted in between the rocker arm and the valve tip. After closing the nut, the filler gauge will be checked for the proper clearance in between the valve tip and the rocker arm, and if we get the proper clearance, we will get the proper valve lash value. It is between 0.012 inch to 0.022 inches in case of the normal engines, right? So after doing the different stroke positions, after matching the position for intake and exhaust valve, all the cylinders of the engine will be checked for the valve lash. If the valve lash is not proper, then at the higher RPM the power will be higher. So if the valve lash is proper, then the graph of the RPM and power will be simultaneous and equal. So by checking the valve lash and by adjusting the valve lash, we get the proper valve timing of the vehicle, and valve timing is very important factor for the operation of the engine, right? So in this video we learned about the cylinder head facing, the cylinder liners fitting, and at the last we saw the valve services required on the different intake and exhaust valves. In the next lecture, we will further see the maintenance of the other engine components. Until then, thank you so much.